Welcome to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. At what a round we have with us today. Round 8 at Spa-Francorchamps with the Porsche 911. Very classic combination of car and track. We use the Porsche in the GT3 version. This is race 1. We are on round 8. And the season, the spring 2022 season is coming to an end. And this should be a very exciting round indeed with good racing. Diogo Silva on pole, followed by Jorge Jesus, Darren Head, championship leader, and Diogo Almeida on second row. And then it's Kev Allen, Rob Oldham, Simon Allen, Dale Taylor, Scott Davley, Jumbo, John Scott, and Gonçalo Mota. A full field of 12 drivers in this race. And look at that, everyone is number 0. Absolutely brilliant. Look at this, 3 wide, 4 wide into the first corner. Last tourist, and Diogo Silva is trying to protect the inside line, and Jorge Jesus is actually going to go into the lead of the race. And Simon Allen also there through the corner. Everyone through Last tourist safely. This has been a very civilized start. Indeed, Diogo Silva recovers the lead at the exit of Last tourist. Here comes Jorge Jesus. Darren Head in third, followed by Diogo Almeida. The top 4 maintain their positions as they go through the radio for the first time, and car sliding all over the place there. Look at this, Jorge Jesus on the outside now into the Camel Straight, and Darren Head is trying to join the action as well. 3 wide, almost contact between the cars there, but everyone maintains their position. Jorge Jesus is going to go to the lead. Yes, he's going to go to the lead. Jorge Jesus, what an overtake on the outside of Lecombe. Diogo Silva drops to second, and Darren Head followed by then Diogo Almeida, Kev Allen up into 5th, Simon Allen, and someone has lost time here. And that was Rob Oldham. Rob Oldham down into 7th place. Look at this, Dale Taylor in the grass there. Dale Taylor in the grass and coming back to the track now in 10th place. Not the ideal start for Dale. This is the replay of the start. Look at this, is from Darren Head's perspective. He was going on the inside there, but Diogo Silva, that was a bit of a block. But Diogo, look at this, he left the outside a little bit open. Diogo Silva and Darren Head on the inside. Nice exit there from the source by Diogo Silva. Darren Head has to remain in third for the time being. Now George is coming on the inside there, didn't quite work in Eau Rouge through the Radion, and now this is where the action is about to happen, because look at this, George, nice exit there from the Radion. And we're still on the first lap. Remember, Darren Head is going to try to make it 3 wide and then thinks better of it. There wasn't really a gap there. And George just has better straight line speed there than Diogo. And Diogo ends up losing second place, almost losing third to championship leader Darren Head. But for the time being, and this is another replay of the start with Simon Allen starting from 7th place. Nice getaway by Simon. He's behind Rob Oldham, and Rob has had a poor start. Look at that, a bit of contact, almost contact there. Some people running wide there already. Diogo Almeida and also Rob Oldham running wide, and Simon Allen actually not the greatest start, because Dale Taylor actually is up into 7th. But we saw later in the lap Simon is up to 6th, so I'm quite curious to see what is going to happen here at the Rouge and the Radio. Dale Taylor all over the place off the track. And then is going to go on the outside. And loses all the momentum. Maybe missed a gear there. And so did Rob Oldham. Maybe they were avoiding penalties as they both run wide at the Radio. And Simon Allen up into 6th place. Maybe it's an overtake outside of track limits. Most likely that's what it is. Back to the race. And Jorge Jesus is the leader, followed by Diogo Silva, Darren Head, and Diogo Almeida. The top 4 maintain their positions. 5th is Kev Allen, and 6th is Simon Allen. Nice start by the Allens in 5th and 6th as they go through Pujon, and we see John Scott at number 20. And then someone has spun. It's Scott Davley. And Scott hits. Scott Davley spun on his own. Did he? Oh dear, it's a rare mistake by Scott. He just and then he's out of control now, and John Scott was coming off the track to avoid Scott Davley, and that's a Scott connection there with one name and one surname. They end up in 11th and 12th, and that's a bit unfortunate racing incident, not more than that. A rare mistake by Scott Davley. We're still on the first lap now through the Paul Frere corner into Blanchimont, and it has been a very eventful first lap indeed. And Darren Head already losing a few car lengths to Diogo Silva. Jorge Jesus is still at the front. We're going through the field with, well, Simon Allen is up into 50. Something happened to Kev Allen. He's down into 8. We couldn't quite pinpoint what it was, but he is down in 8. Let's look at this. Gonçalo Mota is going to... Oh! Gonçalo Mota didn't brake and hit, I believe it was Rob Oldham or Dale Taylor. It might have been Dale, but that was a bit of a clumsy mistake there by Gonçalo. Unusual as well. And let's see where he ended up. He ended up in 9th. And I believe it was Dale Taylor, the driver that he hit, but I'm not quite sure. I don't think it was Rob Oldham, who is up into 6th, by the way. John Scott is now continuing that battle with Scott Davely, a battle that has already generated a bit of a tangle there at Pulhon on the previous lap. And look at this, Diogo Almeida is coming strongly for 3rd place. No, that's Kev Allen, followed by Gonçalo Mota, and that's Dale Taylor. And it may have been Rob Oldham, the driver who got hit by Gonçalo. But if that was the case, well, they're still 6th and 7th, so they recovered quite nicely indeed. And it was Rob Oldham, because Dale has a white livery, and it was definitely a yellow and black livery. So nicely done there by Rob Oldham, getting, well, not losing too much time after that incident. Dale Taylor is in 7th. Oh, and sliding there now through the Jackie X corner. And here comes Kev Allen, and Gonçalo Mota has lost another position to Jumbo. There they are, Jumbo in that blue car. And Gonçalo has lost the position, is now in 10th. But look at this nice battle here for 7th between Dale Taylor and a recovering Kev Allen. Kev Allen was in 5th place at one point, now down to 8. We couldn't quite figure out what happened, but he lost time. Diogo Almeida in 4th, now through Stavlo and the Paul Frere corner. Ooh, look at this, a little bit running wide. The race director is quite stringent here at Spa-Francorchamps. Dale Taylor continues to go after Rob Oldham. Look at this, Dale Taylor, nice speed there out of the Paul Frere corner. Now he's launching. Look at this, he's absolutely, he seems he's in another class, and Rob Oldham is going to lose the position there. Maybe he was trying to avoid the penalty, maybe not. But he slowed down dramatically, and Rob Oldham down into 7th now with Kev Allen coming after him. This is now a battle for 7th, well, still a battle for 7th, but Rob Oldham in 8th, and Kev Allen now attacking him in 9th. Dale Taylor up into 6th, and that's a good recovery by Dale as well. Gonçalo Mota in 10th, Jumbo is in 9th, and the Scots are at the back after that tango. And look at this, this is Gaspin, that's Diogo Almeida on there, and has sliding a lot through that through Eau Rouge and the Radio, and trying to get off the draft of Diogo. Ooh, look at that, Diogo almost was slightly off the track, and now he's coming, but Darren manages to break the draft. They are on lap 3 already, and they're clocking 2:21, which means we have less than 10 laps here, probably 9 laps or 8, I can't quite remember. So we'll just, oh, the Jorge Jesus, the race leader is in the grass. The race leader is in the grass, and Jorge Jesus, that's the replay on his own with no pressure whatsoever. He had more than 2 seconds, and just at Bruxelles, and Diogo Silva has gone into the lead of this race, and has gone second. No, he hasn't, because Jorge Jesus comes abruptly back into the track. Now here comes Darren Head on the outside. That's not the greatest overtaking point there at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and Darren Head is in 3rd, Jorge Jesus in 2nd, but Jorge is trying to regain his composure. Look at this, Darren almost off the track himself, but new leader now on lap 3 after Jorge Jesus from 2nd place on the grid managed to go into the lead of the race. Now it is Diogo Silva trying to get his 3rd win of the season, and we still have quite a long way to go. This is Diogo Almeida. Oh, Diogo Almeida is in the wall. He's in the wall, isn't he? Oh, he's dropped back now. He's dropped back, and let's see the difference to Simon Allen. Simon Allen is coming. He's 3 seconds behind, but certainly Diogo lost a lot of momentum there. There it's Tin of Spam, 7th place. Ahead of him is Dale Taylor, and ahead of him is Simon Allen. So Dale Taylor with great pace now, catching Simon Allen, and Rob Oldham is trying to go with him. And look at this Dale almost off the track there. And here comes on board with Dale Taylor now in the bus stop chicane that is no longer a bus stop. Look at the then Simon Allen has spun. Simon Allen has spun and then got hit by Dale, but the succession of events was first Simon spinning. I don't think he got hit and spun. Simon is just going, oh, it's just a little bit too much of speed there, and then he does get hit, but he was already sideways. Now, has Dale Taylor been penalized for that? Oh, look at this, the Allens are at it. Kev Allen came with everything, and Simon Allen again off the road. And Kev had to do this to regain that position, and Simon was certainly going slowly, but that wasn't the most brotherly thing to do there. Kev Allen is now up into 7th, and Simon Allen from 5th is down into 8th. Jumbo is, well, he's lost the position. Jumbo as well, we couldn't see that in the camera, but Jumbo is in 10th, and Gonçalo Mota is again up into 9th place. Now this is the battle for 5th again, and 5th is Dale Taylor that is coming with great pace. 6th is Rob Oldham, and 7th and 8th are the Allens. That's Kev ahead of Simon. Lap 4 already. Gap at the front is 1.6 seconds, and Jorge Jesus is trying to come back into the battle for the lead of this race. Look at this side, Kev Allen is completely off in the grass there, but manages to recover without any major drama. Quite entertaining battle here for 5th place since the beginning of the race. That number 77 of Kev Allen was already in the grass a couple of corners ago, but still holding on to that 7th place. And let's monitor the gap. Look at this, the gap at the front is now under a second. And it seems to me that Jorge Jesus is the driver to beat this afternoon here at Spa-Francorchamps. In terms of pace, he certainly seems to have it. He had the consistency for a few laps, but then that small error at Bruxelles has really compromised his track position, and now he has to chase the leader again. Darren Head is trying to remain in touch with these drivers. We haven't seen Darren Head in 3rd place in the race in quite some time. He's normally at the sharp end of the podium and has won many races this season. He's almost been crowned champion. I believe in the next round should be well, he's going to win 2nd championship in a row, most likely, with the gap in the point standings he currently has compared to other drivers. That's Simon Allen there in 8th spot, Simon Allen up into 7th actually. We couldn't quite see what happened to Kev, but Kev and Simon Allen have swapped positions, and this is Gonçalo Mota again losing it in the bus stop chicane, and got overtaken by none other than Jumbo, so they swap positions again. And here comes the Scots. The Scots are recovering. They have good pace, 2:26 for both Scott Davely and John Scott, and they are catching up to that battle between Jumbo and Gonçalo Mota, so we should have a 4-way battle for 9th place very, very soon indeed. And meanwhile, here is the battle for the race lead again, as Jorge Jesus is coming with everything. He's got better place, and look at this, Darren Head is sliding there at the back. This car can get quite slidey in the GT3 version, much more than the GTE version in Project Cars 2. And already tire wear is going to be a problem already on lap 5. It's quite a long lap around here, and now Diogo Silva is already with a massive amount of white in his mirrors, because that's the Porsche of Jorge Jesus coming in 2nd place, and he's going to try to make his Porsche as wide as he can around this Spa circuit. It's going to be a fascinating battle in the last 3 laps of this race, as we go again into Stavro and the Paul Frere corner. And let's see the overtaking points. Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane is definitely one, and George has had a good exit there, but is not close enough yet to make a move, I believe. Unless Diogo makes a mistake here at Blanchimont, which is a little bit unlikely. But the battle is now absolutely on. Nice exit by Diogo there from Blanchimont, and I think he's safe from an attack this time round. That's going to be the end of lap 5. And now he's going to have to defend in La Source and importantly in Lecombe as well. And we understand these guys are running different setups, which should be fascinating to watch in the last few laps of the race. The Scots are at it again. That's John Scott in 12th, coming up, coming for it, and now he's going. Whoa! That was a bit of an ambitious move there by John Scott. On the inside of the bus stop chicane is definitely possible, but you kind of have to brake for it, which Scott didn't brake in time. Now look at this, that Jean Jesus has more top speed than Diogo Silva. Diogo Silva knows it and he's going really defensive on the inside, and now back into the racing line. He's defended it for this lap. The problem is he's got 2 more laps to do this, and George is, well, he's eager to get that win. He's already got a couple of wins this season, and Diogo Silva as well, a couple of wins. So these guys are basically battling for the 3rd win. The only races that Darren has not won this season, amazingly. And George Jesus definitely is coming. Oh, small mistake there at the Jacques X corner, now into Pouron, and it seems to me again that Diogo is safe through this section. And the stable setup works a little bit better here through Pouron, and this well, twisty bit basically until Blanchimont. The real problem of the setup is in the high-speed areas of the Radio and Lecombe. That's when the loose setup really comes alive in terms of top speed, and he's already defended on the previous lap, but we shall see what happens in the next lap. Meanwhile, through the fields, 50s Del Taylor, 60s Rob Oldham, 7th is Simon Owen, 8th Kev Allen, 9th Gonçalo Mota, 9th Gonçalo Mota, and 10th is Jumbo, and Scott Davely again ahead of John Scott after that, well, quasi-incident at the bus stop chicane, thankfully with no contact between the 2 drivers, and John is still going after Scott. Jumbo, and look at this, Gonçalo Mota is actually very close to Kev. Kev has lost more time, and Gonçalo is, well, he's seeing that 8th place very, very close indeed. And with just a couple of laps to go, that's going to be, then the gloves are off really, and Gonçalo can see that 8th place visually in that yellow. Oh, look at this, Gonçalo Mota very wide. Oh, and he's going to lose it. Oh, Gonçalo Mota is going to hit the wall. Fortunately, no damage in Old Fox Racing PlayStation, but he is going to lose track position, is he? That's the action replay, and I think the reset button put Gonçalo right on the... Oh, and Jumbo has lost it as well. Jumbo has lost it in sympathy, and here comes Scott Davely up into 9th place, and John Scott up into 10th. That's extraordinary. Look at this, what else is extraordinary? That's George Jesus now. Is he going to go for it? How is Diogo Silva going to defend? Does not have the top speed. And look at this, George is trying to decide whether to go on the left or on the right. Diogo Silva is trying to make his Porsche as wide as possible without... Oh, and George Jesus on the outside. Doesn't work here. Doesn't work. And that's another lap where the leader is still going to be Diogo Silva. Now, this is the part of the circuit that still favors Diogo's setup. But there's nothing between these two. An amazing battle for the win. And Diogo is really defending nicely there from George. He's placing his car exactly at the right place in the areas of the circuit where he is slower. Now, through Pouron, now George is actually closer this time round. Could we see a move there at the Fagne S that is coming right here? The answer is no, because George is a little bit too far behind. Now he could potentially go on the inside in the next corner right here. He's trying to do so, but Diogo is going to defend this one. I think George is saving his efforts to Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. And look at this, he's now really close. They're absolutely nose to tail. This is incredible. Lap 7 out of 8, and now Diogo Silva is going to have to defend. How is he going to do it? As Jorge is going to try on the inside, Diogo Silva protects the inside a little bit, but now in the bus stop chicane is going to be the real drama, as who is going to brake later. Diogo Silva brakes, Jorge Jesus is coming but doesn't quite work, doesn't really have the space to do anything, but now he's absolutely on it as they start the last lap of the race. Now into Las Tours, and Diogo Silva is going to have to defend Las Tours surely. And importantly, he's going to have to defend in Eau Rouge and the radio. Here comes now Jorge Jesus on the inside, and he's going to go for the lead. Yes, no, he's going to go there side by side now, absolutely side by side. And now this is the last lap of the race. Look at this, absolutely brilliant. And Jorge Jesus comes in, the contact between the two drivers. Contact between the two drivers, and now Jorge's lost it a little bit there through the radio, and he's off the track, and now he's lost momentum, and I think that Diogo Silva has survived this one. In the last lap, here comes Darren Head. Darren Head is coming in this battle as well, absolutely brilliant in the last lap. Now Jorge, can he still recover? He's still in second, he still has got a few more corners to go, and he spins, and he's in the barrier. No damage, but lost second place, and I think that's the end of Jorge Jesus' quest for this victory, as he is coming a little bit too fast on the entry, and now he's just a passenger with this very slidey car. Presses the reset button quite quickly. Now we still have a battle there at the front. Darren Head is 1 second behind that number 91, and a few moments ago this is what happened with Simon Allen, and we are going to see what happened here with and Simon Allen spins in Puron, and he's going to it's a big spin, big hit, and Kev Allen is going to come at, is he going to overtake me? Yes is the answer. And the Allens are now look at this. Kev now overtakes him and loses it completely. Now he's all over the place. He's off the track in multiple corners, and here comes Simon Allen now on the outside and recovers the position. Nicely done there by Simon. Absolutely brilliant battle between the Allens as well in these late stages of the race. But I believe it's going to be, look at this. That's still back to the race. I'm sorry. I was looking at the gap between the two leaders, but that was before Jorge spun. Now Diogo Silva has 1.2 seconds and he's heading for a victory. The only driver to win more than twice. Also the only driver to beat Darren Head all season, really, because Jorge Jesus won 2 races where Darren Head did not participate. And that's an impeccable record for Darren Head in this spring 2022 season. He has won the majority of the races and has only been beaten 2 times. Now it's going to be 3, and we are on the 16th race of the season. That's absolutely extraordinary performance by Darren Head. Surely the championship is going to be his in the next round. Now the last few corners of this race, the Allens are still battling for 7th place, but here comes the race leader. Diogo Silva had to endure a difficult defensive race, but in the end that number 20 is going to cross the line first, followed by championship leader Darren Head. They're going to be first and second, and Diogo Silva wins in Spa race 1 round 8 with the Porsche 911 GT3. Second is Darren Head. Third is going to be a disappointed Jorge Jesus. 4th is going to be Diogo Almeida. 5th, Dale Taylor. Nice race for Dale. 6th, Rob Oldham, also recovering from a poor start. 7 and 8 are going to be the Allens. Mr. Consistency Scott Devley, he has made a mistake in the first lap, but he has made no mistake afterwards and went back into 9th place. 10th is going to be Jumbo. 10th is not going to be Jumbo, it's going to be John Scott, sorry. Because Gonçalo Mota and Jumbo, after that incident, not with each other, but individually at Blanchimont, they have, look at this, Scott Devley almost getting caught by John Scott there. Gonçalo Mota and Jumbo in separate incidents, individual incidents at Blanchimont, end up 11th and 12th. What a race this has been, an absolute classic. This combo does produce good racing, confirmation of the results there, and this was race 1, round 8. We shall see you very shortly in race 2. Thank you very much.